India is currently witnessing a surge in COVID-19 cases. In fact, the national capital, Delhi, reported the first case of JN.1, subvariant of Omicron. In fact, out of the 3 samples sent for genome sequencing, one is JN.1 and 2 are Omicron. Meanwhile, the Delhi government has urged for caution in the wake of increasing cases of the new COVID variant. Now, the current positivity rate in the national capital stands at 1%. In fact, the Delhi Health Minister mentioned that around 400 RT-PCR tests are being conducted daily, resulting in 4 to 5 hospitalizations. Now, he also emphasized the importance of following precautions rather than succumbing to panic. Listen in.
दिल्ली के अंदर हमने RT-PCR टेस्टिंग जो है शुरू कर दी है और लगभग 250 से 400 RT-PCR टेस्ट हमारे यहाँ रोज़ हो रहे हैं। कल की रिपोर्ट के अंदर 2 पॉजिटिव टेस्ट कोविड के हमारे आए हैं और टोटल नंबर ऑफ पेशेंट जो हॉस्पिटलाइज हैं वो 4 से 5 हैं। कोई डेथ रिपोर्ट नहीं हुई है।
On the other hand, the state of Maharashtra also saw an uptick of cases. In fact, in the last 24 hours, a total of 87 new cases of corona were reported in Maharashtra, also claiming 2 lives. Now, total active corona cases in the state as of Wednesday stands at 194. Let's also tell you about the situation in Karnataka. In fact, amid a COVID surge in JN.1 cases, the state has mandated a 7-day period for home isolation for COVID-positive patients. Among 479 active cases in the state, 422 are in home isolation. Now, those who test positive will need to remain in isolation for 7 days, with their symptomatic contacts being tested for the infection, according to a decision by State Health Minister Dinesh Gundurao. However, there are no restrictions on New Year celebrations in the state currently, but masking is mandatory for senior citizens and those with comorbidities. Let me go across to my colleague Isha for the latest. Isha, we're just telling our viewers in terms of the numbers and where the situation stands, in fact, from the north to south. But we do know, as far as the latest is concerned, in the national capital per se, the first case that's been reported, give us a quick sense of overall where it stands at the moment.
Yes, indeed. The first case of this particular variant, JN.1, has been reported from Delhi. In fact, 3 samples were sent for testing, out of which 2 were Omicron positive and 1 was JN.1. But the important thing to note here is that JN.1 is just another subsection of the Omicron variant. And indeed, there are no major complications that will arise when it comes to this particular variant. In fact, all the deaths that have also been caused, like you were mentioning in the past, like 1% is the mortality rate, a little more than that, and they have also been caused because of other comorbidities. So this particular variant, JN.1, is not deadly. In fact, other doctors and experts have also stated that home isolation will be enough when it comes to this particular variant, and hospitalizations are not necessary. But reading from the official document that has come in from the Health Ministry, in fact, there is a decrease in the active number of cases. 77. The number of decreases 77. In fact, the active cases at the moment across the country are 4,093. And the other good part is that about 600 people have also recovered and gone back home safely and have returned to their lives. So Mumbai and Karnataka are both peaking in terms of cases at the moment. And in fact, but speaking of particularly JN.1, Goa is contributing the most number of cases in this particular variant. While it does not obviously have the largest tally in terms of overall COVID, but across the country, India is experiencing a surge, but hospitals are well prepared to make sure that any kind of outbreak can be dealt with. In fact, Mansukh Mandavia, the health minister, also chaired a meeting, and in fact, at regular intervals, checks are being made by the Union Health Ministry to make sure that this outbreak does not go out of hand. But the coming few days will be a little tricky, considering that New Year's also invite a lot of gatherings, and in fact, Christmas was also yesterday, so gatherings also took place. More restaurants were filled to the brim with people, and similar things will happen during the New Year's as well. But there has been no restriction on gatherings in New Year's in Karnataka. Like you rightly pointed out, only a 7-day home isolation will be enough. But what is imperative to understand about this particular variant is that it is not life-threatening. And in fact, Randeep Guleria, while speaking to Times Group, had said that COVID is here to stay and it will continue to mutate. In fact, this will be a regular behavior of the coronavirus, that it will continue to mutate in the coming few days, in the coming few years as well. But what is expected is that it will turn into a normal cold, which is also what it is right now. And in fact, it is important to note that all the deaths that have taken place, more than the one person that you had mentioned,
Right,
they
Isha.
were also only because of the comorbidities. Kerala is still the most number of cases, but yes, nothing to panic is what the Union Health Ministry has been stating.